A new year, a new background, and a new set of changes, updates, and bug fixes to Cliniko. Hi, Cliniko friends and family, it's Rachel here, and today I'm going to catch you up on some of the new releases to Cliniko in 2020 so far. This includes the updated dialog or pop-up that appears when rescheduling appointments, the addition of the patient ID column for certain data exports, changes to how we generate the appointment schedule, and a plethora of other changes and bug fixes. Let's get started in this episode of Cliniko This Week. Our first big change is to rescheduled appointments, specifically when you drag and drop an appointment to reschedule. Previously, when you would reschedule an appointment, you would get a simple pop-up or dialog box asking you to confirm the change. The dialog box wouldn't contain any information or context about the appointment you are rescheduling, though, nor would it warn you if you were rescheduling the appointment to a practitioner who doesn't offer the service. So, we've updated the dialog box visually so the dialog box will be clearer when it comes up, and will again include more context about the appointment. This includes a warning if you're rescheduling the appointment with a practitioner who does not offer the appointment type or service normally. This isn't a new process when rescheduling, but will hopefully help prevent confusion or accidents when rescheduling an appointment. The next set of updates is to our reports. When viewing the charts on the reports page, you'll now see money values with 2 decimal places instead of 1 if it's relevant to the month you're viewing. Moving on, we've made some changes to the data exports for health fund claims, letters, payments, and payment allocations. When generating these reports via Settings, Data Exports, there is now an additional column for Patient ID. We've also made a change to how we handle merged patients when deleting a data import file. If you create a file for a patient, then merge that file with a patient who was created via a data import, we will no longer delete that merged patient file when deleting the data import file. Their patient file will remain, but you can then, of course, manually delete that file if needed. That concludes the major updates and changes for Cliniko. Now, let's move on to some of the bug fixes that took place. First, we fixed the issue with the appointment schedule report that was preventing large clinics from generating a report if they had more than 100 active or inactive practitioners. We also fixed an issue in the appointment schedule report that was accidentally counting appointments marked as did not arrive in the daily counts. This was the number that appeared next to each day when viewing weekly or monthly reports. For those using the MediPass integration, we've also released some fixes. Specifically, practitioners with more than 4 practitioner reference numbers per business were not able to select a provider number when attempting to create a Medicare claim. So this has been addressed. Also, the MediPass payment calculator is now using the actual benefit instead of the expected benefit amount. Finally, when archiving or deleting a product linked to an appointment type, it would cause some unexpected issues when using that appointment type. Now, if you delete a product, we will clear out the related product setting for the appointment type. While that completes this episode of Cliniko This Week, I will of course be back with more updates, changes, and bug fixes to Cliniko in the future. Until then, have a great week, Cliniko friends and family. Bye!